So am I doing what?
Yeah, just do 9 comma.
Will you know what this is?
Yeah. 9 comma, I think it's 16, 14, and then I think it's something like probably also like 18, and then add like plus 7, and then I'll figure out where we add more chairs. Yeah, just do plus 7. I'm gonna assume we have like plus 7 people joining. Just because I know we have a euphonium, we have 3 oboes, and then a few more miscellaneous.
You got it?
Yeah. And then my phone number is 718-607-8541. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question. So it says we're live, but I don't see it.
There's probably the
I guess it's not on a playlist. You have to go to the channel and then. So it says we're live, but I don't see it. Hey! I don't see
I'm so sorry for your losses.
it. One so far.
I'm very sorry.
The next one's coming. Could we add more chairs for tonight? Just move Mark back. I mean, like right here.
Yes.
For the record, I put my name tag on my stand.
We need another chair.
Just have to maybe add another one.
I mean, I guess I can stand. I'm used to that.
Nah, just add another one on the end. We'll scoot Mark back for tonight. It's gonna have to get reworked a little bit.
It's a heavy sucker, isn't it?
I had to scoot you back slightly just so that we can get an extra chair in for tonight. Might need to go back a little bit more. What do you? Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all. You're just doing a little friggin'.
Hey,
She thinks that they took the stitches out a little bit prematurely.
all right. Hello. We've got some people trickling in. Thank you for your flexibility and patience. We're starting a few minutes late, but we really need to kick things off. Be aware that next week we're going to have a slightly different setup. We have a really great problem right now, and that is we have a lot of people, and we're not used to that. This number of people. So I will put out word ahead of time. I'll be communicating with Michael and Brianne to get this situated sort of permanently. For now, the oboes are in the third row. That probably won't always be the case, but just be aware. Anyway, good problems. Let's go ahead and run through a chorale really quickly. So if you could open up contemporary chorales for band. And let's do actually chorale number 3, please. All right, and I know we still have some people getting situated, but everyone else who's ready, here we go. Chorale number 3. All right, let's take some tuning pitches, please. B flat first for woodwind, B flat concert for woodwinds, and then another B flat concert for brass. All right, we're starting off with March of the Cute Little Wood Sprites, which we did not have time for last week, or 2 weeks ago rather. Couple of things which are going to come up in this. Number 1 is style. Number 2 is roadmap. Lots of repeats, lots of first and second endings, a DCL coda. And then finally, there are some singing parts. They're very minimal, but they're there nonetheless. So I want to start at the beginning. We're not going to go very far. I just want to get beginning to A, specifically for the timing of the what the saxophones and brass have, that's spoken, ah. All right, and I think in your, I don't know if it says it in your music, but in my score, there's a little asterisk and a footnote that says, as in, isn't that cute? So that's in response to beat 2 of the prior measure. We've got flutes and piccolo playing just this little short, high, piccolos, plural, playing a B flat. All right, so we're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to stop right at A. Stop at the downbeat of A. Here we go. Oh, all right. Yeah, cool. And thank you for that low clarinets. All right, it is going to go faster than that. Another thing to consider here is there's a trade-off between, at the beginning, it's between trombones and then trumpets and cornets. Yeah. Aw. Okay. Beginning again, maybe a tiny bit faster, and then let's go on.
Don't say, oh, you missed the goal. Oh.
Yeah, not aw. Aw. All right, here we go. Oh. Bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. I got you. Go back. We're not going on yet. Wait for it, wait for it. Bump. There you go. Bum bum. Ba-da-da-da-da. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. Hey. All the way back to the beginning. Ah. No repeat. No repeat. C. Coda. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, cool. So we're gonna work on the singing parts. Can I please, well, actually, first, let me say a couple things real fast. Number one, it says, at least in the score, probably says this in your part as well, sing women only. I don't think that's true, but I do want the timbre to be the same. So anyone can sing it, but if you are singing there before G, 4 before G, make sure that you are singing in the right octave. So I wouldn't go, oh, I would go, oh, oh. Don't worry though, that is the top of 3 notes. There's 2 other harmony parts below that. Speaking of which, can I have, let's do this real fast. Susan, oh, you're on piccolo. Would you play for me real quick a G, and then a B flat, and then an E flat? G, B flat, E flat. So those are the 3 pitches. So anyone who wants to do the low one, play a G, B flat, and then E flat. And in each case, it's not great part writing. It's literally just, he's just taken that interval and shifted it. So lots of parallel fifths and stuff. So yeah. Can I have those 3 pitches one more time? Let's try it all together. Here we go. Ready? Go. That was fine. We're gonna work on it more next time. But that's it, by the way. It happens. So it's gonna happen twice total because of the repeat. And the second time, instead of going da 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 da, it goes da 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 da. Very simple. I will have. I don't have a keyboard here to play it, but we will do that maybe as part of the warm up next time. So, and then at the very end, the pitches are. Oops, too far. Not too far. One sec. It's D, A, F sharp, B, and this is all voices this time, so we can have, you can be in any octave you'd like. D, A, F sharp, B, going to E flat, B flat, G, C. So again, it's just a shift. So can I hear D, A, F sharp, and then B natural? And actually, it would be up, so low D, low A, as low as you can anyway. And then F sharp, and then B. Yeah. So those are the 4 pitches, and then they all shift up a half step. Do it one more time for me, those 4. Let's try it. Here we go. Okay, we'll work on that more later too. So that's just for your awareness. Be thinking individually. Number 1, if you are going to participate in the first ones where it wants that high timbre voice, right? So falsetto or head voice or whatever. And then at the end as well, I think everybody's supposed to be singing. So ultimately, you'll pick which of those you want, so that then when we circle back to this next time and we go through those pitches, everyone will have an idea. So, and as we go, I might adjust and ask around for people to switch. Yes.
Is it written in concert?
Correct. Yeah, it's written in concert pitch for everyone. So what you're seeing in your music is not transposed for your instrument. It's concert. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. We do need to move on, but before we do, just one closing thought. We did a decent job on the roadmap. Stylistically, however, we'll want to work on the lightness. If you couldn't tell, this is kind of a parody piece, right? And so we can't take it too seriously and be as light and comical as possible. In the interest of time, let's move on, please. We're going to go on to At the Movies, and we're going to start at measure 146. I'm putting cornets on the spot. You don't have numbers, so I'll tell you where it is. There's a trumpet cadenza, or a cornet cadenza, and it's tempo polka brillante. It's 146 if you have a measure number at the movies. Yeah, it says 2-4 in front of it. And there's also a key change there as well. There's a key change to concert C. All right. We're going to give percussion a few more moments. Clarinets and horns have a motor that you're going to lay out for, you're going to provide for 2 measures. And then pickups into the 3rd measure here, there's cornets with a fiendishly difficult, when we go up to tempo, part. And so on. We are going to go slower tonight, though. I don't know how it's written in your parts, cornets, but this it's a strange notation. It should be triplet, 16th notes for the first half of the beat, and then the last 2 16th notes are duple. When you listen to the recording, it sounds almost like they're doing 2 30-second notes and then a 16th note. If we can make it a little smoother than that. Okay. Tempo, polka, brillante, or brillante. Wow. Also 146, it's 2/4 after the cornet cadenza, and we've just changed to the key of concert C. Does everybody know where we are? It's after the 2nd cadenza. So first cadenza is alto saxophone. 2nd cadenza is, or recitative rather, is cornets. Then in your music, it should say tempo, polka, brillante. It's a 2/4 with a, we've just changed keys to C, to concert C major. Okay, here we go. In flutes and oboes, you're sustaining 2 half notes tied together. This is going to be quite under tempo. Here we go. And cornets, you'll come in, pickups into the 3rd measure. 1, 2, ready, and go. Okay, great. Okay, so that part is probably the scariest in this, and then the second scariest would be after the alto saxophone cadenza. So we're going to do that section one more time, then we're going to jump back. Did everybody figure out where we were? Did anybody not figure out where we were? I should have asked that. Okay, yeah, so the measured number, which you probably don't have, it will be helpful. The measured number is 146 for your reference. You can go ahead and write that in now, 146. It is after the 2nd cadenza, which is probably, I don't know how it looks in your parts. Let me look. So alto sax cadenza. So in your part, it should say cornets cadenza. You have cornets cadenza? All right, so we're starting the measure after that. Tempo, polka, brillante, I don't know. And that is measure 146. That's where we're starting. Okay? No faster. Maybe a little slower. In general, as you're working on this cornets, I mean, obviously you got to get the technique up, but for the sake of like accuracy of rhythm, you could consider those triplets to kind of sort of be an embellishment. So if you're having trouble just staying in time, you could occasionally drop out the triplet and make it just an eighth note. Bum 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 bum. Well, I guess that one you can't. Bum bum ba-dum bum bum. Ultimately, we'll want to have all those notes in there. Let's go this fast. And this is a good opportunity if you're not playing a super technical part to really think light in the downbeats and upbeats. And when you do have some kind of interjection, to make it as like present but pretty as possible. So we don't want it to come in nasty. Here we go. 146, 2, ready, and go. Let me hear those pitches, please. If you play on the and of, in the measure before the fermata, on the and of 1. Ba-da-da-da. Here we go. Ready, and 1. There's a horn playing on the old horn part. Do we get new horn parts for this one? We're trying to transpose. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. We're not gonna redo that. Let's continue on where we just stopped after or fermata, and then we're gonna come into the next measure there. Here we go. So beat 2 fermata. All right, let's take it back real quick to the right after the alto saxophone cadenza, which is polka Radowa, I think is how that'd be pronounced. R-E-D-O-W-A, Radowa. And that is, for your reference, measure 85. That is 85 for your reference. We will have the pickup note, the fermata pickup note in saxophone, and then we'll be in 3/4, starting right at 85. All right, here we go. Yeah, let's try that again. So we're gonna have fermata, and then the downbeat at polka rodova will be down, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom. All right? It's kind of more of a waltz, it sounds like. All right, here we go. Yep. Yeah, you want to give it a shot? That was good. Do you want another shot at it? Yeah? Okay, cool. Let's go, please. Oh, man, what's the easiest way to find this? Okay, so count back with me, please, before the... Did I just go the wrong? Hang on a sec, I'm sorry. That's not helpful. Shoot. I wish we had measure numbers. I have measure numbers, but you don't, it sounds like. So, so yeah, if you would please, before next week, write in measure numbers, and we can like double check with each other to make sure that everyone has the same. Let's do this actually, because it's worth the time. Let's go ahead and go all the way back to Polka Rodova. We're gonna start right on it. We're gonna go a tiny bit faster, and then we might slow down just a hair for the piccolo part because it just goes crazy. Do you see what, you know what I'm talking about? So we're gonna start way back to where we just were after the alto sax cadenza, and then when we get to the piccolo solo, I might ease the tempo a little bit, and I'll turn and cue you. Okay, cool. One more time, Polka Rodova. This is the last thing we're gonna do on this piece, and then we're gonna move on to wrong note rag. Percussion, if you wanna start moving to wrong note rag, that'd be fine. All right, cool. Everybody with percussion, starting at Polka Rodova. No pickup, just right on it. Here we go. Okay, and we're not going to do it during rehearsal, but I would like to spend some time individually with the cornet parts in the cadenza outside of the normal rehearsal time, and also maybe I'll just listen to alto sax cadenza at some point down the road. But just for the sake of rehearsal time, we're going to not do those things. Okay, okay. Let's move on quickly now then to wrong note rag. Where? Is it like where it's like 16th note, 16th rest? Ah.
Yeah, it's here.
Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if it was 2 lines, then it would be.
You play the 16th third tune.
Yeah, no, that's not. Okay. There are 4 spots specifically I want to touch on wrong note rag. Depending on how much time we have after that, we might do like a bit of a run through, but I want to prioritize the following. We'll start at measure 21, which, by the way, flutes, piccolo, oboe, B-flat clarinet 1. It's, I think, the same thing that you have at 5, but this time we've added in second and third clarinet as well. So, measure 21. Measure 21. Let's have first let's just have percussion and anyone who has the dotted 8/16 pattern, which is those folks I just said. Piccolo, flute 1, flute 2, oboe, clarinet 1, clarinet 2, clarinet 3. So we'll go in 4. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. This is eventually going to be in cut time, by the way. All right, here we go. Pickups to 21. 1, 2, 3, and. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba dum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Okay, cool. Yeah. And you're like how jazz swings. This is not that. This is before jazz. This is before big band. It's extra hokey, extra short. It's like the kind of music that I play with the Singapore Slingers. It's like everything your band directors told you never to do, you're gonna do it. Very cheesy. All right? Yeah, but not the wrong notes. Unless it's written. All right. One more time. Pickups to 21. This time with everybody. We're in 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay. Yeah. So we're in 4. We're in 4. So low voices have 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3. Eventually it'll be in cut time, but we're not there yet. Let's try it one more time, and then we're going to move on to the next section. So this is, again, pickups of 21, in 4, and 1, 2, 3, and. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. Next spot, it's going to be similar but different voices. Measure 73. 73. We've changed keys, right? All right. So same pattern, different notes. Here we go. 73. And let's just have everybody. So we've added, by the way, in addition to the folks who just played that pattern, we now have alto sax 1 and 2 and trumpets. Is that correct? All right, here we go. Same tempo. Everybody's in. And 1, 2, 3, and. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. And then the next place, yeah, 89. So I know we could have kept going, but I wanted to point out that at 89, upper woodwinds have that same pattern, but there is a second like counter melody that's happening at the same time in alto saxes, tenor sax, and trumpets. Da da ba da 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 ba da da. So that is like of equal importance. Everybody in listening to those two parts, or for those two parts now, pickups to 89. Here we go. And a 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. Yeah. Happens again at 101. We're not going to do that one because it's the same voices from before. However, let's go to 117. We've switched roles now, except saxes, you're out. The upper woodwinds have what the trumpets and saxes just played, and the trumpets have this dotted melody. Also, I don't know if you have metronome markings in your music, but it says quite fast, quarter note equals 220 to 240. Probably not going to happen, but I want it to be as fast as you guys can play it.
What does your main handle like to do?
Like 144 to 160 probably. Yeah, so half note equals like 72 to 80. Is that probably closer to 80? Is that 80? It's been too long.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 117. Everybody's in. We're still going the same tempo in 4. And a 1, 2, 3. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. And that's it. That's it. All right. Let's take, please, that much to the end, and then we're going to bring Nick up. Let's try it. I went too far. Let's try it, please, at this tempo. So trumpets kind of putting you on the spot a little bit. This is now in cut time. This is in 2. 1, 2, 1, and 2. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. Yeah, cool. And then in the very last measure, alto clarinet, bass clarinet, tuba, one of the percussion one parts, timpani, you have quarter notes. Bum, 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 or bum, bum, bum. Everyone else has just the downbeats, 1, 2. Okay? And so if we can bring out those quarter notes in the last measure, that would be very helpful. All right. With that being said, let's welcome Nick up to the podium for Merry-Go-Round of Life, and then Begin for Band. Is that going to be...
No, you're totally fine.
Okay.
Oh, it's like tracking my face? That's cool.
Yeah. Try not to watch it because it's behind.
Okay.
It's going to be... Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look, I promise. Okay, so we'll start with Merry-Go-Round of Life. So you're aware of what we're going to do tonight. We're listening mainly for melodic lines and when they happen throughout this whole thing. We are going to start 4 measures before letter B, and then hopefully get all the way to where that percussion thing happens, past that, and stop at letter H. So B to H is a big chunk of music, but it's a lot of material. A few things to take note of before we start playing. 4 before B, I will be in 3 to give you guys a good solid tempo. And then once we hit letter B, we will be in 1 so that we can have a good waltz feel. We'll stay in 1 all the way until measure 94, where everyone has a rallentando, which is also 4 measures before letter E. I'll be back in 3 to show every single beat going into letter E. And then once we hit letter E, we're back in 1. And then again, 4 measures before letter F, we're back in 3 so we can feel the slow down. And we are staying in 3 at letter F all the way until letter G. And then G is where everything breaks loose. All right, let us start 4 measures before B in 3. Yes. 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 We're going to talk about that. Okay, cool. Let us start 4 measures before E. 1. B as a boy, my bad. My bad. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, and. Let's check our key signature for go on again. 4 before B. 4 before B. Yeah, there shouldn't be any weird wrong notes. Yeah. All right, let's try that again. Here we go. 4 before B. That was cool. And 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, M. All right, now, before we go on, at measure 49, there is a cool syncopation happening where a lot of groups of instruments have 2 dotted quarter notes in that measure. So if it feels off kilter, it's supposed to feel that way. It's like right in the middle of the phrase. It's super weird, but you have to lean into it for it to make sense. However, that second dotted quarter note, if you hold on to it too long, you're gonna end up behind. So make sure we're not holding on to the second dotted quarter note too long before moving on, okay? Cool. Let's try starting at measure 45 now, where the flutes take over the melody. 45. And 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, and. Yeah. Okay, and then trumpets. The trumpet solo happens right at measure 63. So we have 4 measures before you come in at C. The people that take over the melodic line are the horns, all 4 horns at letter C. So you're gonna hear 4 measures of horn, and then beat 3 pickup into the trumpet solo. Let's start right at letter C now. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, letter C, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yes, we are in 3 at measure 94, and then the melody picks back up in our trombone part at measure 97 specifically. So I will look right at the trombones, or trombone, right there at measure 97, and you're just gonna take over with the melody and like take over the show, okay? Cool. Can we start measure 80? That's weird. Let's start right at 94, right on it. There you go, right in 3. Watch me for that, and I'll look right at our trombone player. 94. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, and. Great. Now, this slow down, measure 112, it's going to be really major. So, 1, 2, fermata, cut off. Okay? Can we try that really quickly at 112? Let's see if we can follow along with that one. Here we go, 112. And 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. And then we have a full measure of rest before letter F. I'll give you all 3 of those beats, and then we'll go right into letter F. So you have the fermata, you're off, and it's 1, 2, 3, ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Cool. Let us start at the rallentando, which is measure 112, and then we will keep on going up to letter G. There you go. 112, and 1, ready, go. Yes, and then at measure 129, when all of our low voices start coming in, it's staggered entrances from a lot of people, so just be really accurate with your entrance, and it'll totally be fine. Okay, letter G, we are back in 1. We have some mallets, specifically xylophone with the melody, and then flutes and clarinets come in afterwards with the melody. This will be in a fast one. Your dotted half note is 94. So you're thinking, ba 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 bum ba 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 bum bum ba ba bum 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 bum. Then flutes come in right here, then they go left, then da 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 da, like that. Okay. Right now we're gonna go a little bit slower. Can we try at letter G? Just a tiny bit slower than that. Da da ba bum 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 bum. And in your head, you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 if you have rests. Here you go, letter G. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Yes, yes. And then the next part goes back to the mallets. And then the next section comes in. If you have quarter notes on beat 1, you're just thinking 1, 1, 1, 1. That's all it is. All right, try it again. Letter G, last thing we do on this one. Here we go, letter G, and let's get to letter H. And 1, 2, ready, and. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Ba 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 bum bum ba ba bum bum ba 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 bum 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 ba ba bum bum. Yes. All right, cool. We are gonna go past our letter H next time we rehearse this. Just keep in mind There's a lot of thick textures on this one, so really accurate note reading is going to be super important because I can't like break down everyone's part for them. So please, please, please make sure you're looking at your key signatures and notes for me. All right, let us look at Begin, please. Begin for band. All right, we're going to do the beginning all the way to letter G. We're going to hear all the different soli options that are happening throughout this. Just be aware of the melodic line happening throughout this whole piece. Ba-dee-da-da-da-da. That whole thing, that's the most important thing. Everything else is second nature, but it's the motor for the whole song, okay? Cool. And one thing before we start playing this, clarinets, with your dotted quarter note tied to a half note on an upbeat, does it say anything about a decay or a forte piano on your part? Okay. Specifically, that is measure. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have the first one. That's going to be a gradual decay all the way until the end of the measure. It's not a fast decay. So you go bum, bum, but you have to come back at the same dynamic every single time when you play that iteration of whatever it is, okay? So gradual decay, come back in at the same dynamic that you decayed from. Okay, let's try it out at the beginning. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. And 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, There we go. Yes, okay, cool. Awesome. All right, Zach, on the shaker, when you're, I don't know if you heard this. On the last time we did this, I changed the rhythm. Instead of 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 in, which is lame, can you do 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 in, and then accent beat 3. 1 and a 2 and 3, or the upbeat of beat 3. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and do the whole time, and it'll be a lot easier to keep up. Okay, cool. 2 things. The first thing, all the solo parts can come out. So the oboe solo at measure 12, I think, or 1 measure before A, can be brought out a lot more. That's your moment to shine. And then when our flute soli section comes in, one thing to keep in mind, whenever you're going from one note to another note that is like almost an octave apart, be aware of like tuning on your top half of the instrument. You don't want to like overshoot and play sharp when you're getting up there and holding up a long note. Okay, so that's always something you want to keep in mind. And this goes for everyone whenever that melody comes around. Whenever you're going from like an octave to an octave, don't overshoot, just try and play right in tune. Okay, we're gonna start at the beginning again and we'll go all the way to letter G. We won't stop. Here we go, beginning. And 1, 2, ready, One and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 3. So, if you didn't see, when we got to what I don't even know, measure 1, 2, 4 measures before letter F, it was like super loud. There's a forte piano, and then there's like a huge decrescendo for those 4 measures. We gotta like bring it back a lot when we're playing all of that. Okay, last thing before we move on to the next piece. Horn melody happens a half note before letter F. Bring that out a lot. That's like your moment to shine. Everyone else that is not a horn player, get out of the way so that they can shine as well. Okay, cool. Let us start at measure. Oh, there was some wrong rhythm happenings at measure 5 before letter F. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and then a key change. Let us start at letter E right on it. We'll stop at letter G, fixing those last things, and then we'll be good. Here you go, letter E. And 1, 2, letter E, set and ready, M. Great, awesome job. Yes, really awesome work. Cool. All right, thank you guys so much for this one.
We're going to move on to the Holst, suite number 2, second suite. And while we are getting there, I don't know yet. I haven't decided if we're going to squeeze in variations on a kitchen sink tonight or not. Regardless of whether or not we play it, I have 2 lists that I'll need volunteers to sign up for. One side is volunteers to lend or donate certain kitchen sink components. 2 skillets, 1 large, 1 small. If you can only donate, like if you can only lend or donate 1, then make just to note that. Large wash tub, 2 cooking pans, 1 that's a saucepan size and 1 that's slightly larger. Table knife, 2 bowls, 1 that's soup sized and 1 that's vegetable sized. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Just reading off the score. Soup spoon, pie tin, a rotary hand-operated egg beater, or a flour sifter. In either case, though, it needs to be as noisy as possible. A large dish pan, or alternately an actual kitchen sink. If it's the latter, if it's the kitchen sink, it needs to be played with a small plunger. So that would be another thing to bring. A pancake griddle and a fork. So that's one side of the sign-up list. The other side is just numbers 1 through 8. Those are volunteers to play those parts during the piece. So it may be partly filled by percussion. However, there is like 5 percussion parts, and even with if 10 percussionists show up, which is possible, there's still openings. So I would like to actually, get anyone who's interested in the band in on that too. So I'll.
Egg beater, absolutely. Egg beater.
So just to clarify, so if somebody who plays one of these instruments, we have a lot of like flute and clarinet signs up, are they going to be playing the egg beater the whole time, or are they going to play their instrument and they just one little?
It would be, you would like be not in the section at all. It would be for the entire piece.
All right, so
Yeah.
well, we'd have to like rebalance a little bit. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm sure we can
Yeah.
spare.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, guys, we'll send out more information by email on it, but don't bring your own stuff. Maybe just go to Goodwill and buy something old and donate that.
Yeah. I mean, you can bring your own stuff, but you might be donating it at that point. So yeah, some of the components are played with like soft mallets, bass drum, hammer, that kind of thing. Some, however, are played with metal utensils, like hit with like a soup spoon or hit with a fork. And so if you've got like really nice all-clad or something other, and you bring that up, it's gonna get beat up. So just keep that in mind. All right, we will start with the first movement of second suite. We may jump at a certain point depending on time. We're gonna take it a little under today. performance tempo goal for first movement is half note equals 120. Like a march. Da, 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 da. But for now, slow. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Starting with bass and euphonium. Now, Chris. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I was giving a stinger, but I was thinking mostly about how we weren't going to do the DC for now. Cool. There will be oh, never mind. It does go on, doesn't it? Okay, so it continues on. Yeah, whatever. That's normally the fine. Let's not do this section from H to the end. We'll save that for next time. Let's move on instead, please, to the second movement. And I think just for tonight, because it's in my score, it says solo, oboe, or clarinet 1. I like to hear what it sounds like on clarinet tonight. Awesome. And then we'll see timbre-wise. Maybe we end up making it a duet. I don't know yet. But clarinet tonight. Here we go. Yeah, and then we'll just go right out in time there. I want to go back to A, please. Back to A. And I'd like for the eighth note line, anytime you have it, to be slightly less to the fore, so to speak. I want it to be heard, but it's not what should stand out in front of everything else. There is still melody that goes on top of that. So it should be there, but really, really, really listen for the actual melody part as it comes in. So solo cornet plays with flute and E-flat clarinet. Pickups into the second measure of A. I would like, if possible, I know it is a tall order considering the difference in numbers. I want the cornet sound to be heard. I don't necessarily think it needs to lead, but what's happening right now is like every once in a while I catch just like the faintest sound of cornet, but most of the time I'm hearing flutes and E-flat clarinet. So I'm not necessarily saying like be underneath the cornet sound, but we need to hear the cornet. All right, let's start right at A. Right at A. Here we go. Does everybody know where that is? Yes. Great. Here we go. I'm sorry. You don't have an A? Is all of brass not have an A? A is a tempo and beat 4 is solo cornet. A is measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It is an a tempo after we had a 3 measure ad lib. I don't know how much of this is in your parts. Anybody want more clarification? I can count through with you again. Raise your hand if you still don't know where A is. You still don't know where it is. You know where it is. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Starting in that measure. Here we go. Solo cornet is on 4, so you got 3 beats of rest first. Here we go. Yeah, and then you can hold that. I mean, not hold the last note out, but give it a little bit more length, a little bit more body. We weren't all together when we got to there's a fermata, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the end. Do you have that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we all didn't quite get there at the same time. We will move on for now, though.
It's confusing. The next note.
1 and 2 and hold. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right. Yeah, definitely not going to get to kitchen sink tonight. That's all right. Let's go on to Song of the Blacksmith. We did a great job on the rhythm of this 2 weeks ago. I wonder if it was just like beginner's luck or like sight reading luck. I don't know, but not to like overcomplicate it or anything. But yeah, just remember nobody plays on the downbeat, so just watch once. Bop 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 da bop bop da 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 bop 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 da bop bop da 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 bop 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 ba da da bop bop. So they so horns and saxes just sort of like interject. They sort of cut you all off. All right. So starts fortissimo. Don't forget to diminuendo quite a lot in measure 5 and 6, so that when we get to beat 3 of measure 6, the horns and saxes really stand out. All right. From the top, Song of the Blacksmith. Here we go. No one plays on the downbeat. ba-da-dum, ba-ba-ba-dum. Yeah. All right, find A for me, please. A. It's in 4, so we've been alternating between 4/4 and 3/4. At A, it's 4 measures in 4/4 time. And then at B, 1 more measure of 4/4, but we start alternating again between 4 and 3. Starting right at A, no pickups. Here we go, right on A. Right on A, ready? And. 1, 2, 3. Bum 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 ba da dum bum bum da 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 da. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, bum, Last 2 measures. Bop, bop, da-ka-da, 2. Last 2 measures. Here we go. Nobody plays on the downbeat. Yeah, and then nobody plays at all beat 3 of the second to last measure. I don't think. I have a condensed score. Does anybody play on beat 3 of the second to last measure? Okay. Bop, bop, da-ka-da, 2. One more time, please. Last 2 measures. Here we go. Here we go. I did a terrible job. One more time for me. And then we're going to go on to the next one. Here you go. All right. Quickly to the next one. Fantasia. Instead of starting at the beginning, though, I'd like to start at C. So at C is where we are 1 beat per measure instead of 2, because there's 2 contrasting or 2 conflicting subdivisions. So in clarinets, da 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 da. Let's just hear anyone who has that at C. Da 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 da. C is in cat, and this is 1 beat per measure. Da 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 da. Ready? And those folks. All right, everyone else who didn't just play now at C, right at C. Everybody else, ready? And. Yep. All right. Now, everybody together at C, and we will probably stop where we just stopped. Here we go. Everybody's in at C. Yeah. Sorry. And they're going to be moving fast, so I'm going to turn and watch y'all for that. So one more time, C, and. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That happens again at G, but we're not going to do that for now. So that's the idea. Pretty straightforward. We won't go, if we go any faster than that, it won't be very much at all. Okay, we've gone a couple minutes over time. I know we need to stop, take some quick announcements so that we can pare down the stage some for the pep band rehearsal. So let's go ahead, before anyone moves too much, let's take some quick announcements, and then we'll take 10. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so at this time of year, this is something the band traditionally does. We have a lot of new people. If you've heard of the AIDS quilt, it's a gigantic quilt with hundreds of thousands of panels of people from all over the world who passed away from AIDS. And it's a very, very moving experience if you've ever seen all the panels laid out in a park or something. It's quite something. But what a lot of you might not be aware of is the Oaklawn Band has 2 panels that have names of members of our band who've passed away, mostly in the 1980s, but a few more recently. And so what we generally do is try to collect about $250 to send for the maintenance of the quilt, because it actually costs a little over $100 per panel per year to maintain the quilt. So if you want to chip in any amount, small or large, is great. You can go to the website, make a donation, and put quilt in the memo, or you can see our treasurer, which is Josh right there, and he'll take a check or cash, whatever. And the band will, regardless, will put in about $250, but it'd be great if we get that back and even it out, and we feel like we have a little bit of a part in remembering those who've passed. And second thing, we have a thing called song sponsorships, which if you're new, you might not know about, but it costs $100 per band piece to sponsor that and have it listed in the program. And it can be from one person or from a group of people, and it can be, just a memory of someone who's passed away. It can be for somebody's birthday. It can be just to make people think about world peace or whatever. Your message can be anything. But I noticed 2 of the songs already got snapped up, so there's only 6 left. So make sure, if you want to be in on one of those, to do it, and it's $100 total to do that. And one more quick thing, Nick made a great announcement last time in preparation for the chamber concert that'll be April 22nd, to start letting him know if we want to do pieces. And so with the larger sections, if a section manager send you an email and said, are you available for this, and will you be at most of the band rehearsals approaching that date of April 22nd, please answer soon, because I'd hate to be planning on that piece for 7 piccolos and then 6 of them are going to Aruba that weekend, or the piece for 8 alto clarinets or whatever. So if we know who's available, especially in the bigger sections where we want to do some bigger choirs, make sure you answer your section manager on that. Thanks.
Yay, thank you, Ellen. Okay. Last few things. Tonight we have 69 people in the thank you in the room here, and we're actually missing 11 tonight. So I just want to put a general PSA: be you at home watching us on YouTube, because we're trying a new streaming tonight, which records the rehearsals, which is cool. And then also for you guys, if you can't make it but are planning on being in the concert, please, you need to let somebody know. Otherwise, we get cool dynamic exercises like the flutes and the trombones, or the saxes and the trumpets, because we ran out of space because we didn't know you were coming or not coming. So please just communicate clearly whether or not you're going to be here, and try to be here, especially for this concert. I don't know if you've noticed, it's a little hard. And we have 8 weeks to get it done, and there are pep rehearsals happening in between, so time is tight. We might need to do sectionals. It's hard to plan on those if we don't know who all is going to be here. So just make sure you got your email to your section manager, because they also might not be answering your email, section managers, if they haven't given you their email. I will also, if possible, love to see all of our current section managers while we're tearing down for like 2 minutes, just right over here off to the side once we're done, which I think we're done, right?
One thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you are new tonight, please stand up and wave so we can welcome you appropriately. And thank you all for being here. We're so excited. We're getting so huge.
If you're new, stand up. Yeah!
And second thing, this name tag, so we can get to know each other. There's lots of new faces. if you see somebody that you don't know, introduce yourself, so that by the end of this concert, we'll all hopefully know each other.
And if you're new and not getting email, come see me.
But there's a piece of paper back there. If you don't have a badge, or if you've lost yours, it's okay, no worries. I'm gonna make you a new one. So if you don't have one, or if you've lost it, write your name down back there, please. Okay? Thank you.
And then I have a couple things real quick. One, if you are getting the emails and you're new within the last few weeks, that may be because I've been BCCing you out of paranoia. So if you've been getting the emails and you're brand new, like Brendan, for example, thanks for being here tonight. You're getting those emails maybe because I'm BCCing you. So talk to Miranda anyway. Yeah. Just because I didn't know where the, yeah, doesn't matter, but line of communication, I wasn't sure. So, yeah.
Is the concert going to be here?
The chamber concert's gonna be here?
Yes, the chamber concert should be here.
Chamber concert is here. Second to last thing is, if you're new, you may have never heard this. If you're not, you may need a reminder. The only stipulation really that we were given for using this space is that we prevent puddles of moisture on the floor, AKA water key drippings. And so I see many like rags, potty pads, those kinds of things. If you are an instrument that tends to leak in that way, we want to make sure that we prevent that from happening. If you have one that you've contributed, a puddle that is, go ahead and, if you don't mind, grabbing a paper towel or something. There's paper towels down in the restrooms around the corner, and clean that up so that we don't get kicked out of the space. And then the second to last thing the last thing I don't remember. So welcome Nick up. After the break, welcome Nick up for the pep band rehearsal. Go ahead and tear down at least the
Tear down the last 2 rows, please.
Yeah.
Pep band, you'll tear down the front 2 when you're done.
Cool.
If you want to join Pep Band, you can stay for rehearsal. We're starting at 9:05, and I created coffee for music for people.
It's all good. Section manager time. You want to hang out with me?
Don't forget to sign up for Kitchen Sink stuff. It'll be up here.
I'm listening. I'm right here.
Sorry, touchdown.
Section.
Yes. I promised Mason I would move the camera over so that he could join us from afar. So just watch the.
Okay.
Come on over. I just wanted to. This is mostly my census of who the section managers are.
Okay.
Because that's one, and then we have Mason online. Rollo brass, low reeds.
Oh, here comes Jason.
Altos or all saxes?
All saxes.
All saxes. Okay. Kevin, don't stand right in front of Mason. That's
Come over here, Kevin. Kevin, come over
Hi,
here.
Mason.
Mason's just on the screen tonight. Okay, so flutes
And oboes.
and oboes. What about bassoons? Who's covered? Are they with you? Okay. And you have all clarinets?
Just soprano clarinets.
Okay. And percussion, trumpet. Do we have a low? Mason is all low brass, including trombones?
No,
Trombones,
Mason is
trombones,
not.
trombones?
Mason split, so he's only euphonium and tuba. And we do need a trombone section manager. It just got to a point where we had one trombone. And so
Technically, yeah. Well, and also, so that is trombones are the reason that trombones leave. I have a huge favor to ask of all of you. We need to get better at understanding who is going to be playing the concert in advance of the concert, as in like in advance of the first rehearsal for the concert. So this time we did not know how many trombones we were going to have. We were thinking maybe 1, then 5 showed up, then today we have 1. It's really inconsistent. So it's really hard to plan for what kind of music we can play, how difficult the music can be. Like for example, on the trumpet part, first trumpet is extremely difficult for this concert in multiple different ways. We didn't have anybody that wanted to play first trumpet this time. Normally it's a fight to play first. So if we didn't know how to play for that in advance, we might have made some changes to the concert lineup, to the printed order, pay, all that kind of stuff. So to that end, if you guys are not opposed to it, we'd like to invite you to an every other month meeting. We can do it by Zoom, or if you prefer, I will buy you food and we'll do it in person and discuss and plan. But I really want to start us as a group getting a read on how we're communicating with the band, what you guys are doing, what you guys have time to do. Some of you are also doubling up as board members and conductors and other things, so time is tight. But from a section manager standpoint, I want to be able to leverage you guys where we can just like Mark can send you guys an email of like, hey, we need to know this. You guys could collect that for us and get it back so that when we're buying music in advance, we know what to expect. And just start to get people used to knowing whether or not, like make it an abnormality to not be playing in a concert versus like we have to figure it out each day. Is everybody okay, or is this like no, we already have enough meetings? If I throw Zoom
Well,
on your
I was going to say there's 0 section manager meetings right now, so at the very least having one a concert would take us back to where we were pre-COVID.
What my thought was is I'll do a meeting with the 2 directors. Y'all are optional, so you can come if you want. And then the second one is all of us plus there, and just try to basically time it to where that meeting is happening a month before we start the next concert series. So if you guys want me to bribe you with food, I'm totally okay to do that. Otherwise, we'll just throw it on Zoom call today. And then if you need help, or if it's not clear, like what you're supposed to be doing, just be talking to Mark, or if he's not around myself. Because we want to just really get a lock on this membership thing, so we know where it's going.
Do we get good results from our Google surveys that go out? Is there pretty good response?
Oh yeah, that's our primary method of having contact info for all of them.
Because I was wondering if we could just say.
I can send you guys the roster.
Well, not that, but I mean, at the beginning of next season, here's the dates for the concerts as far as we know. Yes or no, are you planning
All
to
of
do
them.
it all at once? And then people's schedules change, they don't have stuff. But I wonder if something like that could get us
We can definitely get that out to you.
I was thinking about doing it in my own section.
It's like, I have a year.
Same. And like with the trumpets, we've gone from 7 to 12 to 10, and they're not all on the list, so that's a good call.
And you know, one thing that I think we could also do, in addition to posting like all of the concert dates for this upcoming season, we can even probably go so far as the rehearsal dates as well, and the no rehearsal days, obviously. And yeah, like a full-blown calendar. But the sort of the mid to long-term idea is that I want to be able to program like a whole season. You know, and it's tough to
Because that's what other groups do.
Yeah.
Because if we have harder pieces that we want to play, we can start practicing a few concerts in advance. What were you gonna say?
Well, are we on or off on February 20th?
That is, I was going to grab you guys as a quick board huddle up.
Yeah, well, if we have the facility, we absolutely.
They don't have school on the 20th because of President's Day.
I need to talk to you because I need approval for money spent.
And we need to like pay to be in the space.
But I don't want to live stream that. So.
If we have because I mean, unless we're going to change all these, losing a half hour for cut band, but